Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to City Skylines Mass Transit. Oh boy, I certainly hope you're having a wonderful day, because I'm certainly excited to be back here in the beautiful city of Nerdshire, where we're currently sitting on $8 million and 171,000 citizens. We have some considerable demand for industrial/office zoning, and today I'd like to deal with that, frankly. I'd like to see if we can solve maybe a few problems that the city's having. One of those problems would be that this area here is awkwardly empty, and this area up here is kind of awkwardly empty. And another problem would be that we have a lot of commercial zoning that is not building. Now, the reason for that is going to be one of two things. Number one, we don't have enough industry, so we don't have enough goods. However, some of the industry is complaining that they don't have enough raw materials. Now, what that tells me is that one of two things is happening. We're either just not supplying enough, or the supplies are getting held up in traffic. Now, I'm inclined to believe it's going to be the traffic problem, and I am aware and have been aware for quite some time, as you'll know if you've been watching these videos, that there is a traffic problem. I don't think anyone's surprised to hear that one of my cities has some major traffic issues. As I've said many times, and people still don't get the memo, look, I'm going to deal with that. About part 30 of this series, I'm going to install a couple of mods, and those mods are really going to let me go ahead and start tweaking traffic and dealing with traffic, because it is still pretty bad in a lot of areas of the city. Also, this is a really cool view right here. I also am aware I still haven't done the first-person tour. A lot of people have been asking about that. That's still coming. I just want to focus on growing the city. I'm having a lot of fun doing this, so that's kind of what I'm doing. Anyway, the first thing I'd like to do today is go ahead and actually pull all of this apart just here. Now, the reason for that is quite simple. We're going to go ahead and we are going to be throwing in this big ol' interchange right here, whatever you want to call it, interchange, intersection, it doesn't really make a difference, let's be honest. We're going to just tear all of that out as well so we can line this up perfectly. So that's going to go from there to there. That's going to be upgraded to have sound barriers. We'll just upgrade the whole thing to have sound barriers because we're here, we might as well. So that's all been upgraded to have sound barriers. These bits in here, I'm actually going to drop down to 2 lanes, just because that means that there's going to be 1 turning lane off of the 3-lane highway. And that's totally fine by me. These bits over here, we might actually do a similar thing with. I realize this is going off towards the suburbs, though, and again, much in the same way as I'm currently dealing with the traffic problems, we are eventually going to get around to dealing with the suburbs again. I know I haven't looked at them in quite some time. That is intentional because I'm waiting for, you know, the mods that I install, because they're going to make it so much easier to make a suburb that looks kind of cool. So you're just going to have to wait a little bit in the suburbs. Plus, you know, we're having fun building out the city down this way. Eventually, there'll be suburbs out here. That's the plan. Anyway, what I want to go ahead and do is I want to go ahead and I want to change this road into that kind of road. I want to bring this up by, let me turn off road guidelines for a second because they're getting in the way. Let's go, what's that, 40 units? 40 units. And 40 units there and go across. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and say that this is being changed into a one-way road. This is going to go, I don't know, 10, I guess. I think we'll go 10. 10 over that way and 10 down to there. Reason for that's quite simple. What I'm going to go ahead and do is just change those into 2-lane highways with sound barriers. And my plan is we're going to come out about 10 that way. We're going to come out about 10 that way. We're going to flip that one. And those are basically going to be the ways in and out of this area. And that's fine by me. So what I want to do is 10 units there and to the right. And then this one is... This is the one that comes out. So what we're going to do as well is go 10 units there and to the right. And those now need to be linked together, and that's fine. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to make this work, though. So what I need to do here is get this to line up with that. And that's fine. All right. So that's going to be the way in. And that just needs... Okay, that's actually going to work perfectly. Hold on. So that just needs to line up with you. And that just needs to line up with you. Oh, that's perfect. Okay. No, that's really... That was really simple. All right. So that's going to be the ways in and out of that area for the time being. Eventually, I would like to make a connection that runs from, you know, the highway in here way down to like this corner so you can avoid all of the highway stuff and get straight into the heart of the district. I'd kind of like to do similar with the way out as well so that you can jump on a highway over here. Because currently, well, actually, no, to be fair, you can jump on the highway there already, so... I don't know how necessary that would actually be, now that I think about it. But we should see, soon enough, some traffic coming through here, going into this district and doing its thing. I'm kind of hopeful that it'll maintain a decent amount of speed. I know it won't on this road, but, you know, I can dream, I suppose. So we'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, what I'd also like to do is start filling up this area with some zoning. And I'm thinking we could maybe throw some industry down here just a little bit, because this area is going to be a weird shape. It does have a train connection as well, so... I mean, if I really wanted to, I could probably throw in a cargo train station. It looks like it would be just about the right size, if we're being honest. So, I mean, we could totally do that. If I can get this to line up properly, of course. So that can go to, like, there for a second. I just want to see if that's where the train will line up. No, it needs to go a little bit further back. So if that's the point originally... I think there might be where the cargo train station needs to go. Yeah, right there is perfect. Okay. So bulldoze all of that for a second. Bulldoze this. Does the cargo train... No, it doesn't fit in there. All right. So what about there? All right, that'll work right there, and I'm fine with that. It's a little bit awkwardly positioned at the moment, so what I'll do is bulldoze that as well. We're just going to figure out how we're going to connect to this as well, because I didn't really think about that. Okay, I really didn't think about that. Okay. Well, what I'm thinking here is... maybe sort of another little, like, one-way loop. I don't know. That's a tricky one. Because I could just connect it straight up like that, if I wanted to. That is definitely an option. You know, take this over to about there, for example. And that'll work. That means traffic can sort of go straight out onto the highway if it needs to. I'm just not entirely sure on that one. I'm also aware that that power line's currently going over towards my suburban area. Let's just go ahead and take those power lines out for a second. We'll run them up along the highway. We'll raise them a little bit and take them over to there. So that'll work. I think we'll leave this where it's going to be for the time being. So that's going to go just there. We can hopefully get these lines connected up. So that connects to there, and that connects to there. I'm not a huge fan of just having the tunnels come up to the thing, the station, and then straight back down, but that's kind of the only choice we have here. So we're gonna have to deal with that. As for how this is gonna work, though, I'm just trying to find a way to make this flow a little bit. And I'm kind of looking at it and thinking I could totally have the cargo traffic sort of go that way and like around the whole thing. But I feel like that could be a little bit much, so I'm just going to leave it as is for the time being. I guess I could do that, because what that'll do is mean that some of the traffic has the choice to go left and some can go... Oh, asymmetric roads! I don't need to do that at all. Asymmetrical. So 2 lanes, one going straight on, one going to the left. That's perfect. So they can turn at the end and then get into lane. All right, I'm pretty sure that's like the first use of asymmetrical roads we've had in the cities, but I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that. So we'll see how that goes. Let's bring some roads into this little space here. Actually, do we want to do that now that I think about it? Because that one-way road here is kind of designed to, it's kind of designed to handle traffic coming off of the thing. But we might have to do this, to be honest. It's definitely, oh, this is definitely going to cause issues. I don't know. Maybe we'll do offices in this little square so we're not dealing with too much, traffic from like industry itself or something. So maybe some offices in here would be for the best. So we'll do, you know, that kind of little space. This area over here, I think, is going to have to be built off of the asymmetrical road, which is kind of a pain. I don't know. Don't know if I like that. I'll tell you what we'll do. We're going to build off of here first. So to about that point. We'll build up to like there a little bit and across to there a bit. So that's fine. And then we can fill up this little space with some shops, some offices, whatever we want to do. All that good stuff. We'll connect up to there, we'll connect to there, and we'll fill up this bit as well. Just like that. So that little bit can be filled up with, I think, commercial or offices, just something that'll get, you know, a nice divide between industry and residential. I think offices will be the way to go, except for maybe that little bit down there, because that's going to look kind of... Actually, you know what? Leave it. We'll leave it. It's fine. So fill up just all of that. Offices. Maybe not that... Well, no, that bit's probably fine. Yeah, that's probably fine. Let's just do a small bit of industry in here then. So just sort of there. I know that's on the one-way roads. I know that's in the one-way roads as well. That can go, actually. That's going to be offices again. This bit can be offices. Actually, no, that bit doesn't have to be anything, really. We could put, like, a bus depot in there. Again, just so we have one nearby. It's kind of useful to have bus depots. Also, I'm fully aware I haven't done anything with these yet, the multi-platform end stations. I want to. I'm just trying to figure out what to do with them. Because, well, I haven't used them at all, really, and I haven't really built my city for them yet, so it's going to be a little bit of a struggle to figure out where exactly they belong. But I'd like to find somewhere, at least, for those. I think that'd be nice. So we'll see what happens with that. That looks kind of nice there. All right. Let's get this area... Actually, no, let's not have this area build up. It's going to need water first before we let it build up. So go ahead and just bring this all around here. I am kind of hopeful that having a cargo train station in this area will do some good stuff for us. I do hope that means that we're maybe going to see, you know, some of these areas deal with industrial traffic a little bit better. I don't know. I'm hoping we can get some good stuff here. I also think it wouldn't be a terrible idea to maybe throw, you know, one incineration plant out here. I know that's amongst offices, so what I'll do is just put a little bit of industry there, but I mean, one incineration plant really shouldn't cause too many problems. I mean, sure, it's 27 garbage trucks, but 27, right? Yeah, 27. For a second, I thought that's at 37. I was gonna be slightly concerned, but no, it's 27 garbage trucks. That shouldn't be too much of an issue. They're gonna loop around. They're gonna go out onto the highway. It's gonna be fine. And actually, a decent number of people are using that as well. Interestingly, oh, that garbage truck's heading out to the... Yeah, it's gonna be heading out to the suburbs. That's fine. Does look like we're having some interesting merging going on with some traffic here, which is kind of particularly weird. Let me go ahead and just make some changes to this over here. So this bit's going to be 2 lanes and 2 lanes, and that's fine. This can go back to being 3, and then this can go back to, that can be 2 again. So the traffic's sort of going to split the way it should, and the roads aren't going to be thicker than they need to be. I think that'll be fine. I really should have done that a lot more through the city. Like this right here should still be 3 lanes, and this should be 2 right here, rather than going from 4 to 3. I don't know. I feel like I really should have done that a lot more than what I've done throughout the city. But I mean, if needs be, I'll go ahead and fix it at some point. For the time being, it's going to have to just live as it is. I also can't help but notice that a lot of the industrial demand is now gone since we built this, which is particularly curious. We have actually got some cargo coming through there as well, which is really nice. Also, I think what I might do is actually make a way to bypass that station just underground, because I don't want all of my trains getting held up by this this cargo station, because that is gonna happen. So just something really simple like that, and something really simple like, you know, that. They'll let trains bypass the cargo station if they're not going there. Like this guy. He's not going to the cargo station, so he's gonna go around. Not very realistic, let's be honest. but it just saves on traffic. What's more, we've got these guys all coming out of here, which is beautiful to see. They're having a bit of trouble U-turning at the end. I'll tell you what I'm going to try and do with that, actually. I wonder, could I, by chance, make a little, like, mini roundabout there? If I turn off road guidelines for a second, we'll sort of go like that, and maybe a little bit further. Okay, maybe not a mini roundabout at all. Now that I look at it. But you get my point. So something like that, which in theory, eventually, that once that traffic updates, will force the traffic to sort of go out and around and then back. And that's fine by me. I wonder if I could change that into just a normal one-way road. Oh, I totally can. There we go. So why are you guys just U-turning? That's not what you're supposed to do there. Use my roundabout. Come on. Use my little roundabout, please. That's gonna make it easier. You can just go around. You don't have to U-turn at the end of the road. Like, I'm saying semi-trucks U-turning. That doesn't make sense. Maybe they'll do it eventually. I don't know. That is a bit odd, though. What about you? Are they gonna U-turn? Please don't U-turn. Use my roundabout! What are you doing? That's an illegal U-turn! I could pull you over for that! That's an illegal U-turn, sir! Sir, please pull that vehicle over! Sir, this is the mayor speaking. It's not even the police. I've been playing a lot of RP. I'll be honest. Oh, come on. Why are you doing this? Why have you forsaken me? Why? Why? That's all I want to know. Let me just change that road into like a grassland one as well. Because this bit here really is the only bit that needs to be asymmetric at this point. Oh no, they do that now? Hold on. Hold up. Hold up. Nah. Get back in that asymmetrical road. Why are they just why were they going down the road then? What? So why in the first place were they like going down the... I'm so confused right now. I'm so confused right now. Why are they not crossing over? No problem. They're like, oh, you know what? We can go do this. I don't understand. I do not understand. What I am going to do though is get rid of that for a second. Just for a second. Because what I want to do is put an avenue there. Because an avenue will actually work the way I want it to work. So you guys are going to go to like there. Then we're going to have another little roundabout looking thing. So the little roundabout looking thing can go like that. Is that, what am I doing here? That's like, I don't know. That's like, I don't know how many units that is. I'm going to be honest. I think that's about right. I think that's about right. I think that's right. And I think that's right. There we go. So that's going to be our little roundabout, which this traffic's going to be forced onto, which is fine. Not a big deal. This is going to need to be connected at this point. So you are going to go there and you are going to go there. That's fine. These roads over here are going to have some slight issues because we need to reconnect those as well. But for the most part, that really shouldn't be too hard because all we do is that. There we go. So that's giving us a little bit more space to work with here as well, which is fine by me. I'm going to throw some industrial stuff around this little roundabout and up here as well. And there we go. So that's going to do its thing. That traffic's going to be forced around my roundabout at this point. Yeah, you didn't see that coming, did you? You didn't think you thought you'd get away with not using my roundabout. Well, think again. There we go. So that's just going to make it easier for that traffic to sort of flow around. If I really wanted to, I could totally like directly connect to the highway just over here, but I kind of like this, I'll be honest. Except for the tiny little junction, which I realize is going to be a nightmare. So maybe turn that off. Maybe just set stop signs. Maybe a stop sign there as well. That should be fine. Maybe you don't stop. Maybe you just sort of keep going. Maybe you sort of keep going as well. I know that's not very good, you know, traffic management, but when it comes to industrial traffic, it's going to be better that it just keeps moving. Let's be honest. It's city skylines. I think we're all aware of how interesting industrial traffic and city skylines can be, so much so that I'm going to turn that stop sign off as well. I just want it to keep moving. Maybe that can be a stop sign and that can be one too. But I just want it to keep moving. That's all I'm going for here. Also, that's going to be a stop sign. That's fine. Those can be a couple of stop signs too. As can that. And that. And that. So hopefully we're going to start seeing some traffic get moving. That's definitely the goal. I'm a little bit concerned that it's backing up here, but we'll deal with that. To be fair, I mean, traffic's kind of backing up everywhere. It's kind of been a theme with the city for a while, so we're gonna have to deal with that. I think really at this point, what I want to do is start planning some of these areas just outside of all of this, sort of go off grid a little bit. You know, make this stuff look interesting, have a few dead-end roads, because we don't, in the grand scheme of things, we don't have that many dead-end roads, if we're being honest. I mean, we do. This one here is technically dead-end, you know, I get it, but in terms of, like, just roads that just end, they all sort of end and go into a pedestrian path or something like that. So it'd be nice to start getting some proper dead-end roads. I'm also thinking I might expand out like this. I don't think that'd be a terrible idea. Heck, what we could even do is go like this. So if I go to, like, you know, there-ish. So something's... can I turn off road? Road guidelines are interesting. That's what I'm going to say on road guidelines. But turn them back on and just try and get that little angle to work there. Or maybe not that, but maybe we just go, you know, straight out to... maybe straight across, and then we just link them together with a direct connection like that. So that's fine. That'll go straight out. We can get some industrial zoning along the highway here, which I think will be really nice. We can get more into this space as well, which I know will be really nice to do. So that's going to go to like there. That's going to go to like, I don't know, there-ish. Then we can have some stuff come off of here as well. Basically, we're just going to fill up this area with industry, and I'm very much okay with that. I'm very much okay with the idea of using up this space because we're not currently using it. So, yeah, that'll be an extra little bit of industry just in there. It would be nice to get some on this side as well, but I don't know if that's going to be possible. So what we'll do is just go ahead and fill all of that up right there. All of that's going to be industry, and all of that's going to need water as well, now that I think about it. So let's just reconnect all of that up. And that as well, with a pipe going that way, and a pipe going that way. There we go. So that's now all connected. This little roundabout now has some sort of purpose. I might actually just go ahead and change that roundabout to be like this, so it is a bit faster. Which is a little bit silly, a little bit unnecessary, but I want them to be able to get around there kind of quickly. I want them to have a few more lanes than they had previously. Actually, maybe we'll go for the 2. We'll just stick with that. The biggest issue is this. I feel like we just need to connect to the highway, to be honest. Let's just connect to the highway. Let's use a bit of space here. We'll connect to the highway. It's going to make things quicker for them. Which is kind of what I want to do anyway. So, there's a connection, say, there. Oh, that actually... oh, wow. That actually worked much better, much easier than I thought it would. Okay. No, that works. So now they can get straight onto the highway. Which is perfect. That's going to make life really, really easy for a lot of the industry we have around here. If we, I mean, these, is that 2 trains stopping at once? Oh my god, that's going to be a nightmare. Hopefully a lot of you decides to go onto the highway. Yeah, there we go. So that right there, I think, is going to make life so much easier for this little area over here. Because anything coming off of the trains that doesn't want to go directly to this space goes directly onto the highway. And it also means that anything coming out of this industrial area can also go directly onto the highway. Now, obviously, the highway is now having some problems. I'm aware of that, but that's probably okay at the moment. I mean, it's not, but it's going to have to just be probably okay because it's probably okay. So, let me go ahead and start putting in some smaller areas. And I mean smaller in terms of height. So they're going to have to be things like leisure areas, because if I'm not mistaken, yeah, this area here is it tourism or is it leisure? I don't remember. It is this one, which is leisure. So if we can make a couple of leisure areas over here, we get these smaller looking buildings, which is really important because I want it to look like the city is slowly is phasing out into something that's lower, into something that's not as tall, basically, and it's not going to be as rigidly put together either. So we could have, say, an avenue come off of where are we going to go? Actually, we might want to fill this area up first, but we'll get one of these areas going. I'm tempted to say that we can have a four-way intersection here. That's going to be a bit of a nightmare, but I think we'll do it. We're going to go out to there. So out to there is perfectly fine. There's actually a hill there. Let's go a little bit further. We'll get some altitude in here. So out like that, and that's fine. What I then want to do is sort of diagonally connect both of those. I know it doesn't make too much sense, but I want to do it anyway. So it's going to try and just get those to perfectly connect. That doesn't have a curve in it, does it? I don't think it does. So just diagonally connect out to there. For whatever reason. Pretty big area, I'll admit. But we can put like the Mall of Moderation in there. We can put some big buildings in there to make it look, you know, like it's going to support people that live there, like it's just got a bunch of shops, etc., etc. We're just going to make it look kind of interesting. So what I want to go ahead and do is I want to try and get some space in here for some parking lots for a start, which would be sort of there-ish. There's a spot just there, basically, is roughly where I think that could go. We could bring this road straight across if we wanted to. Don't think that's going to be necessary. So we'll go about that far and up to there. And that's fine. And my thinking is immediately parking lots all along that bit of road. Simple reason for that being that along this bit is going to be commercial buildings, so we're going to have parking lots behind them. And then you can totally go ahead and like walk around and get to this area, which is kind of what we want to do. We'll also do like a pathway there, so you can sort of walk through the parking, even though I don't know if that'll happen. So, you know, that's putting some parking behind those commercial buildings, and that's fine. It also puts parking in front of those commercial buildings, which is also fine. We could throw a bit more over here as well if we wanted to, which I think I kind of want to. This is basically a lot of what we're going to be doing in these areas, is putting in a lot of like parking space, because doing that's really going to make it just look a bit better, really. So I want to just bring that across for a second. We'll put the pathway back in just in a moment. But what I want to do is that there, and we go up like this, and we're just going to double those up a little bit so we have a nice chunk of parking. And I know parking lots aren't the most exciting thing in the world, but they really will make this area look a little bit more, I guess a little bit less like just a straight up regular downtown area is kind of what we're going for. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Let's connect that up to there. And that'll be fine. And we can throw more shops in there. That's pretty cool. So this is going to connect straight through to there, which is all right by me. And that's going to be a bit of a start. Now, let's see if we can get some unique buildings in here, because we do have things like the Statue of Wealth, which could be kind of nice out here. We have things like the Lazarette Plaza, which could be kind of nice out here as well. We have the Plaza of the Dead, which could be interesting. But I'm more interested in things like the Mall of Moderation, which could actually go like there, pretty much, if we get rid of that road. So the Mall of Moderation, I mean, for one, it won't actually go central by those parking lots, which is a bit of a pain in the butt. So what I'll do is I'm going to move it, and we're going to see if we can get the Mall of Moderation to go like there, which is obviously not central. Don't get me wrong. I'm well aware. But we can bring that road sort of through to that point just about there. And then we can put parking along it. And then we're going to put parking on the avenue next to the Mall of Moderation, because that's about the only use we have for that space next to it. And it just makes it look a bit more dense. Basically, that, like I said, this is kind of what we're going for. We're going for an area that's going to look like it has a bit more open space. Because it does. It's not, we're not fooling anyone into believing it has open space. It has got a lot of open space, and that's kind of cool. So That's basically what we're going for here. So in here, I think I'll go ahead and throw in a cycle path, because they connect together really nicely. And that, to me, looks kind of cool. I kind of like how that looks. So what I think we'll do is see if we can maybe bring some roads down like this. And, you know, through like that. We could go a little bit further along if we wanted to, which I may very well do. So to about there, and to about there. We have got a bit of a gap in there, but that's fine. But what we can go ahead and do is we can put, again, some small buildings back there. We could put some parking lots back there, but I'm kind of just thinking we could throw in anything, really. Just as long as it looks like it belongs in the area, I don't mind what it is. So, I mean, I don't think we're going to get any high-level unique buildings in here. I mean, maybe the research center, though it already exists. Semiconductor plant doesn't exist. I don't think we'll throw that in here. Robotics Institute also already exists. I think there's some cool buildings we can throw into some cool areas around here. I just want to make sure I'm putting them in, you know, the right spot. So I think that'll do for the time being. Let's go ahead and get some water into this space. So over to there, down to there, and all the way up to this corner a little bit. Let's get a similar thing going on with that, so we can hopefully get it lined up real nicely. So that's going to go to about there, and go straight up to about there-ish. And then we just have that one little space in the middle to fill in, and this little connection to make down there. There we go. So that whole area now has water. It's not going to build up for a while. That's a guarantee. But that's okay, because it will build up eventually. I'm also going to turn these roads into grass-lined roads, because that's going to stop the civilians from... the civilians? Good lord, I really have been playing too much RP. It's going to stop the Sims from... Oh yeah, that annoys people as well. I don't mind that one. It's going to stop the Sims from parking on the sides of the road. It'll get them to use the parking lots, which is kind of what we're going for. So that should be fine. But what I also want to do is actually go ahead and get this district set up, because I want to make sure that any buildings that do pop up are not going to be high rises. So it is going to have to be effectively a leisure district. It is going to have to be a district that is sort of more oriented towards tourism, which might be a bit of a pain for the district itself, because it's not really close to any transport connections that tourists might use. I mean, tourists can get down here, and they will, because those parking lots are parks that do attract tourists, which I still find hilarious. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. So Hickory Hills, what we'll do is go ahead and say that it can have smoke detectors, recycling, parks and rec. We can say high ticket prices. We'll also do a let go for leisure thing, which is... Oh, they stopped generating... Ooh. They stopped generating tax? I don't think so. Maybe big business benefactor, high-rise ban, encourage biking. Old Town I don't think it's going to be necessary here. So let's go ahead and take the district off of the avenues, because we still don't want it on those. Even with the Old Town policy not being active, we still don't want it there. So we'll see how that area develops. It is going to take time, because there is just so much commercial space that is unbuilt at the moment, but we are gonna, you know, slowly work on that. But this right here, I mean, yeah, okay, it's still technically on a grid, but the idea is just to make areas that are a bit more open, a bit more, I don't know, a bit less, you know, built up like this. And I know that's directly across the road from a built up area, so maybe it would be nice to... Is there a high-rise ban on Jasper Park? I feel like the high-rise ban really doesn't quite work. It's a weird one. Also, can I get like the European style on this? I can. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, European buildings are... They are a lot smaller. They are a lot smaller, the European buildings. They all look, you know, the same. They are all very much, you know, European building, but I think I might go for the European policy in these exterior districts, just to make... Oh wow, there's a lot of traffic coming in. Just so we can have lower buildings out here. I don't think that would be a terrible idea. I really don't. Oh my god, my brain, I almost said the word chat after that sentence. I'm sorry. I've been doing a lot of stuff recently. Just a lot. I've been streaming a lot. I'm not, you know, I'm not trying to say I'm so busy. I'm just, you know, making up excuses at the moment for why I almost said chat. So, I mean, when streaming Cities Skylines, a lot of what I say will be, oh, you know, we're going to do this chat. We're going to do that chat. You know, because I'm interacting with the chat. But yeah, I'm not currently doing that. So, I don't know why I was remotely tempted to say chat there. That was an interesting moment. I'll tell you what though, Twitch, serious fun. If you haven't been out to one of the live streams yet, I highly recommend it. I know not everybody's into everything that I stream or that I play on the channel, but you know, I'd still recommend, you know, at least give it a shot. You might find some games you like. I've seen a lot of people who have been saying that they never thought they'd be into something like Grand Theft Auto roleplay. I keep bringing that up in these videos. I'm sorry. I have just been playing way too much of that recently. Same with Castle Story. Been playing a lot of that too. Doing videos on that as well, so, you know, if you're interested, that's there. But, I've seen a lot of people just saying they wouldn't have thought they'd be keen on a game like GTA RP. It's really good. So let's go ahead and set this to be a European style as well, because again, the European buildings are much lower. So we'll get that done. This area here is obviously going to just have to rebuild completely, and you can get a glimpse here of what the European buildings look like. Now, obviously, they are way different to the buildings that we usually have around here. I know that, but they are smaller, and that's the important thing. They are going to be lower buildings. They're going to be shorter buildings. You know, this building here has 10 households. This one is 20. I mean, yeah, it's double the height, but you know, it works. All right, it works for what I'm doing. Sure, we brought the population down by 10,000 this episode, but I am confident that we can make this work. So what I want to go ahead and do, I think, is I'm going to just zone a lot of this space, just all along there, I think, so that we can just fill it up a little bit. I might actually go ahead and say that these bits back here are going to be offices. I feel like that would make a lot more sense. So those bits there can be offices. That can be an office as well. I don't know if they'll build up in a leisure area, but I mean, we'll see. Let's also go European on this as well. I don't know if we actually... Are there European specific leisure buildings? I have no idea. I've never actually tried, I don't think, European and leisure at the same time. Also looks to me like a lot of this traffic is sort of just going around trying to get into this area over here. I'm also realizing technically there are 6 lanes that traffic could go to there. So, boom. 2 lanes go forward, 2 go right, 2 go left. That right there will do some good for the traffic trying to get through that area. I mean, yeah, a lot of it has to cross over into the far lane, but that's still going to let the traffic filter a little bit, and that's kind of what I want it to do. I also love that the European buildings actually, like, stack together like this. They're also going to look really nice with the trams. So I don't think I'm too worried. Also, we get some beautiful, beautiful buildings eventually in industry. Once industry starts clearing out, you're going to start seeing some beautiful red brick industrial buildings. One of my favorite buildings in Cities Skylines is one of the European ones. It's a red brick factory looking thing. Also looks like the offices will be popping up back here. Again, European style, but not too worried about that. Still looks pretty decent to me, so, you know, we'll let it happen. That one's just upgraded as well. It's got a sign on top of it advertising the car of the year. The Jubilee, is that Classics? I don't know. Decent looking car, I suppose. I mean, you know, who am I to argue? I don't know much about cars. I've watched a lot of Top Gear. I really enjoyed the Grand Tour. Doesn't mean I know much about cars. Wouldn't call myself a car guy. But, you know, I like to indulge from time to time, I guess. I don't know. What am I doing? Right. So we've got this weird shape going on here. I think I want to start bringing stuff off of that a little bit. Still not quite suburbs, though. I don't think we're at that point. But what I may do is actually start curving my roads from this point. So we'll go out like 30 there, and we'll go, you know, just something like that. Just a curve. And we're going to start, you know, laying out the backbones of what will eventually be maybe some still fairly built up areas, just areas that are not on the grid. And that's totally fine by me. So that road comes out and starts curving like that. That's going to stay as it is. We can get another little area in here and then have another road that comes off and goes this way. But that already, I mean, that's lining up nicely with that road over there. So we wanted to keep this suburb, we could, but I'm liking that. I think that's just a nice, pleasant sort of curving road, goes out that way, does what it needs to do. And we'll come back to that. What I would like to do as well, though, is actually start throwing in some roads just over here. So something kind of like, something like that. A little bit. We'll do another one in here. Not really what I wanted there. We'll do that kind of thing and bring it out. And then I might, you know what, throw in an angled road. We've got a little bit of a hill here, so it's going to be a bit tricky to, I'm not quite sure what way we'd do this, but I guess we could do, you know, something coming off of there. Coming in at a bit of an angle. Just to, add something a bit different to the space. Yeah, that's, you know, two very close together intersections, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. I don't think that's going to be a big deal. So we'll just throw a bunch of commercial zoning in there. Again, I know it's not all going to build up all that nicely. Not at the moment, anyway. But the commercial zoning in a leisure district is going to be quite small. I mean, it's going to be small regardless because it's a European district at this point. But, you know, regardless, we're going to go commercial. We'll stick with that. Let's see. Bring that out to there. Bring that into there. So that'll let people walk through there if they want to do that, which is totally fine by me. We could totally bring some trams out here as well, and especially to like this area over here if we wanted to. We could bring some trams out to the suburbs. That would be nice. Oh, there it is. My favorite building in City Skylines right there. I love it. I really, not even joking. That old red brick looking, I mean, red brick looking, it is a red brick building. That old red brick mill look. I love it. I really, really do. Not even a word of a lie. Absolutely my favorite building in the game. I wonder if I could get like a roundabout there. Just to, again, as a sort of symbol that we're getting away from the dense city. Just start throwing in some roundabouts. I don't know how necessary it would be. But I'm still kind of tempted. Still kind of tempted. I just don't know how to do it now that the road exists. Because that's the tricky thing, isn't it? Actually getting the roundabout to fit now that the roads are placed. So we'll maybe do it elsewhere. I'll tell you what we'll do then to start wrapping today's episode up. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna head over here. Actually, no, that's a road that goes straight through. So I'm actually gonna go here. We're gonna go out about 20. And we could go over to here as well and go out about 20. And what I want to do is I want to go 20 that way, 20 that way, and 20 that way. Because I want to put a bit of an angled road there. Because I can, really. No other reason than that. Just because I can. And I want this to go up to, say, there. That's fine. I'm not really measuring this. I'm just, you know, I'm counting the units, but I'm not measuring where it's going. I don't have a plan before I'm starting to do this. We'll bring that up a bit further. We'll go 20, 20, 20. And those two are eventually gonna meet. Which is fine. Because in theory, they are gonna meet sort of at a 90-degree thing there. Which is totally fine. In fact, we can make that junction work even better by doing almost that kind of thing. Maybe not. Let's see. Can I mean, they will meet eventually if I run them together like that. I also realize I may have made a mistake with this. Let's do the 20-20 thing again. 20, 20, 20. Connect that and just run it straight through. So they're never going to match up perfectly, which I guess is fine. Maybe what we'll do is that. So again, they just have a bit of a weird sort of thing going on. And you know what we could even go ahead and do tear out those bits and put curves in. And I think that, again, is going to be a really nice way to be like, hey, you're not necessarily in the heart of the city anymore. Look at the roads. They have curves. Railroads have curves. Seriously. No, like, legitimately. Railroads have curves. Curves. See? That was a play on words. That was a really low effort play on words. So I apologize for that. Except I kind of don't. So, you know. Anyway, that curve's kind of nicely around like that, and I like it. What we could actually go ahead and do is, if we got rid of one of the curves, we could have another road sort of go out somewhere, which I don't think would be a terrible idea. So here, for example, maybe this one isn't going to curve, and maybe the reason it's not going to curve is because this road here is going to start heading out into the countryside, effectively. It actually goes up a hill, doesn't it? Yeah. So that's sort of going to head that way. And then I actually want it to turn to the left a little bit, because it realistically wouldn't go up the hill. It would sort of go along the hill. So that's fine by me. Not too worried about that. And again, that's just another road that's sort of going out, gonna do its thing. We'll have some stuff on that. We'll have some stuff in here as well. Don't worry. These two areas will probably be connected together. In fact, what we could do is, number one, upgrade that, and number two, go straight across from there if we really wanted to, with an avenue that connects to, I don't know, say there. That is an option. It's just a little bit too much of a straight road for my liking. So maybe, instead of connecting it up perfectly, what we do is we can come off like there. Let me turn off road guidelines for a second so I can get the measurements proper. So, you know, a good 10 units there. That's fine. And then a good 10 units that way, and sort of maybe 20 sort of that way-ish. So it curves out. And then these bits can all go back. And the idea here is basically we're going to try and get these to connect. Which really shouldn't be that tricky because they're almost lining up anyway. Let me bring that back a little bit. And this can just sort of go straight along. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's going to go more or less straight along anyway. There is actually a little hill there that I could slightly dip it down for, but I don't think I'll bother. What I'll do is just bring this straight out, get it to line up there, and connect it like that. So it just curves out a little bit. It's not a perfectly straight road, and that's kind of what we're going for. And I like that. So let's go ahead and just upgrade this road one more time over here with some trees. And that's fine. So the idea here, basically, is that next episode, what we'll do is fill in all of this space with some smaller roads. We're going to make it a little bit messy looking. You know, it's not going to be horrendously messy, don't get me wrong. Oh, actually, you know what? Looking at that European area, I don't know if I like it. It's too jarring, I think. You know, you're driving down the highway, one side's all modern, the other side's European. It's a little bit too jarring, I think. I don't know if we'll keep that. I'll be honest. I don't know if we'll keep that. I think it may have looked better the way it was, but we'll see. The point is, I want to fill these areas up, and I just want to start, you know, putting in stuff like more, you know, the parking lots, more parks in general is going to be a thing to make these areas feel a bit more open than the rest of the city. So just, you know, bits and pieces like that to try and really sell the idea that this is no longer the dense, you know, urban sprawl that you're used to down here. You are on the outskirts of the city. That's not to say I'm done with the city. I want to expand it up around this way a bit still. That all still needs to be done, but I want to spend a little bit of time doing work down here. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to leave it there for today. I'd say, gotta be honest, I don't really know what progress I've made now that I think about it, but I'd say I've made good progress regardless. I've got a bit of an idea of what I want to do, so thank you kind of for watching. As always, it's been an absolute pleasure, and as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!